Are you one of the millions of seniors who dread getting out of bed each morning because you're not sure if your legs will support you? Do you find yourself gripping the handrail tighter when going upstairs or avoiding activities you once loved because your legs feel weak, unreliable, or painful? Here's a sobering reality. By age 65, nearly 40% of adults experience significant leg weakness. By age 80, that number jumps to over 60%. Even more alarming, leg weakness is the #1 predictor of falls in seniors. And we all know how devastating a fall can be at our age. But what if I told you that this isn't inevitable? What if the weakness, the pain, the fear of falling isn't just part of getting older, but actually a sign that your body is desperately asking for help? I'm Dr. David, a men's health expert, and I've spent the last 30 years as a geriatrician and orthopedic specialist, helping thousands of seniors reclaim their mobility and independence. But my real education came from watching my own mother transform from someone who could barely walk to the grocery store to someone who completed a 5K at age 78, all because we identified and corrected 7 critical nutritional deficiencies that were literally stealing her leg strength. That experience changed everything for me. It opened my eyes to a truth that most doctors don't talk about. Leg weakness in seniors is often not about aging, it's about nutrition. Over the past decade, I've helped over 10,000 seniors strengthen their legs using the exact same approach I'm going to share with you today. In the next minutes, I'm going to reveal the 7 most powerful vitamins and minerals that can transform your leg health. These aren't expensive treatments or complicated procedures. They're nutrients that your body needs but may not be getting enough of. You'll discover why your legs might feel weak even though your doctor says you're fine, which specific deficiencies cause those painful nighttime cramps, and most importantly, exactly what to do about it. I'll share real patient stories, give you specific dosages, and show you how to create a personalized plan that works for your unique situation. But before we dive in, I need your help. If you're serious about strengthening your legs and maintaining your independence, please hit that subscribe button right now and ring the notification bell. This channel is dedicated to evidence-based health information for seniors, and I don't want you to miss any of our life-changing content. Also, drop a comment below and tell me, what's your biggest concern about your leg health? Are you dealing with weakness, pain, cramps, or balance issues? I read every single comment, and your experiences help me create better content for our community. Now let's get started on your journey to stronger, more reliable legs that will support you for years to come. Vitamin number 1, vitamin D, the foundation of leg strength. The hidden epidemic. Let me start with a statistic that might shock you. Over 80% of seniors are deficient in vitamin D, and most don't even know it. This isn't just about bone health, though that's certainly important. Vitamin D deficiency is one of the leading causes of muscle weakness, falls, and loss of independence in older adults. I remember Sarah, a 72-year-old patient who came to me complaining that her legs felt like jelly whenever she tried to stand up. She'd been to several doctors, had multiple tests, but no one could figure out what was wrong. A simple blood test revealed her vitamin D level was critically low, less than 20 nanograms per milliliter, when it should have been at least 30. Within 3 months of proper vitamin D supplementation, Sarah was not only standing steadily, but had resumed her weekly hiking group. That's the power of addressing this crucial deficiency. How vitamin D works for your legs. Vitamin D isn't just a vitamin, It's actually a hormone that controls over 1,000 different functions in your body. For your legs specifically, it does three critical things. First, it enables your muscles to contract properly. Without adequate vitamin D, your muscle fibers can't generate the force needed for normal movement. It's like trying to start a car with a weak battery. Everything struggles to work. Second, vitamin D is essential for calcium absorption. You could be taking all the calcium in the world, but without sufficient vitamin D, your body can only absorb about 10 to 15% of it. With adequate vitamin D, that number jumps to 30 to 40%. Third, and this is crucial for preventing falls, vitamin D maintains your fast-twitch muscle fibers. These are the muscles that react quickly when you stumble or lose your balance. When these fibers are weak, a minor trip can become a serious fall. The age factor. Here's why vitamin D deficiency is so common in seniors. As we age, our skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight. At age 70, your skin produces only about 25% of the vitamin D it did when you were 20. Additionally, many seniors spend less time outdoors, use more sunscreen, or live in northern climates with limited sun exposure. Certain medications, including cholesterol-lowering drugs and steroids, can also interfere with vitamin D metabolism. The result is a gradual decline in muscle strength that many people attribute to normal aging when it's actually preventable and reversible. Practical implementation. So how much vitamin D do you need? The current recommendation for adults over 70 is 800 IU daily, but recent research suggests many seniors need 1,000 to 2,000 IU to maintain optimal levels. The best food sources include fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines, egg yolks from pasture-raised chickens, and fortified dairy products. However, it's nearly impossible to get enough vitamin D from food alone, which is why supplementation is usually necessary. I recommend vitamin D3, cholecalciferol, rather than D2, as it's more effective at raising blood levels. Take it with a meal containing fat for better absorption. Vitamin D is fat-soluble. Most importantly, get your blood level tested. You want your 25-hydroxy vitamin D level to be between 30 to 50 nanograms per milliliter for optimal muscle function. I've seen dramatic improvements in leg strength when patients move from deficient levels below 20 to optimal levels above 30. One patient, Robert, age 78, came to me barely able to climb a single flight of stairs. His vitamin D level was 12 nanograms per milliliter. After 6 months of supplementation, his level reached 38 nanograms per milliliter, and he was back to his daily 2-mile walks. He told me it felt like someone had given him new legs. Vitamin number 2, magnesium, the muscle relaxer, the silent deficiency. If vitamin D is the foundation of leg strength, then magnesium is the key to muscle comfort. Magnesium deficiency is incredibly common in seniors, affecting up to 60% of older adults, yet it's rarely tested for in routine medical exams. The most common sign of magnesium deficiency? Those painful nighttime leg cramps that jolt you awake. If you've ever experienced that sudden, excruciating pain in your calf or foot that leaves you limping for days, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But magnesium deficiency goes far beyond just cramps. It can cause muscle twitching, restless leg syndrome, general muscle weakness, and that feeling of muscle tightness that never seems to go away. Why seniors are at risk. Several factors put seniors at higher risk for magnesium deficiency. First, absorption decreases with age due to changes in stomach acid production. Second, many common medications deplete magnesium, including diuretics, water pills, proton pump inhibitors like Prilosec, and even some antibiotics. Chronic stress, and let's face it, aging comes with its share of stressors, rapidly depletes magnesium stores. So does excessive caffeine intake, alcohol consumption, and high-sugar diets. The modern diet is also naturally low in magnesium. Food processing removes much of the magnesium from grains, and our soil is increasingly depleted of this vital mineral. Magnesium's multiple roles. Magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in your body, but for your legs specifically, it serves several crucial functions. It's essential for proper muscle relaxation. While calcium triggers muscle contraction, magnesium allows the muscle to relax. Without enough magnesium, muscles stay in a state of partial contraction, leading to cramps, spasms, and that feeling of constant tension. Magnesium also supports ATP production. That's the energy currency your muscles use. Low magnesium means less energy for your leg muscles, leading to fatigue and weakness. Furthermore, magnesium works closely with calcium to maintain bone density. It helps regulate calcium transport and ensures calcium is deposited in bones rather than soft tissues. The solution: the daily recommended intake of magnesium for seniors is 420 milligrams for men and 320 milligrams for women, but many experts believe these amounts are too low for optimal health. The best food sources of magnesium include dark leafy greens like spinach and Swiss chard nuts and seeds, especially almonds, cashews, and pumpkin seeds. Whole grains like brown rice and quinoa. Legumes such as black beans and chickpeas. Dark chocolate, 70% cacao or higher. Avocados. However, if you're already deficient, food alone may not be enough. Magnesium supplements can be highly effective, but the form matters. Magnesium citrate and magnesium glycinate are well-absorbed forms that are less likely to cause digestive upset. Avoid magnesium oxide. It's poorly absorbed and often causes diarrhea. I typically recommend starting with 200 to 400 milligrams of elemental magnesium daily, taken with food. You'll know it's working when your muscle cramps disappear and your legs feel more relaxed and comfortable. Margaret, an 85-year-old patient, had been suffering from severe nighttime leg cramps for over a decade. She'd tried everything: prescription medications, topical creams, even sleeping with a bar of soap under her sheets. An old wives' tale. Within 2 weeks of starting magnesium glycinate, her cramps were gone. She told me she finally felt like she could sleep peacefully again. Vitamin number 3, vitamin B12, the nerve protector. The hidden neurological crisis. Here's something that might surprise you. B12 deficiency can mimic the symptoms of serious neurological conditions like multiple sclerosis or Parkinson's disease. I've seen patients who were told their leg weakness and balance problems were signs of normal aging when they actually had a severe B12 deficiency that was completely reversible. The scary part is that B12 deficiency can cause permanent nerve damage if left untreated. Unlike other vitamin deficiencies that make you feel sick, B12 deficiency often develops slowly over years, causing gradual weakness and balance problems that people dismiss as getting older. Why B12 matters for your legs. Vitamin B12 is essential for maintaining the myelin sheath, the protective coating around your nerves. Think of it like the insulation on electrical wires. Without adequate B12, this insulation breaks down, causing nerve signals to become weak or disrupted. For your legs, this means the messages from your brain to your leg muscles don't get through properly. You might experience weakness, numbness, tingling, or that feeling that your legs are disconnected from the rest of your body. B12 is also crucial for red blood cell production. Without enough healthy red blood cells, your leg muscles don't receive adequate oxygen, leading to fatigue and weakness. The senior B12 crisis. Up to 20% of seniors have B12 deficiency, and the percentage increases with age. This happens for several reasons. As we age, our stomachs produce less acid and intrinsic factor, both necessary for B12 absorption. This condition, called atrophic gastritis, affects up to 30% of people over 60. Many common medications interfere with B12 absorption, including metformin for diabetes, proton pump inhibitors for acid reflux, and H2 blockers like Pepcid. Additionally, many seniors follow restricted diets due to dental problems, swallowing difficulties, or budget constraints, often reducing their intake of B12-rich foods. The problem is that B12 deficiency symptoms are often subtle and nonspecific. Fatigue, weakness, balance problems, memory issues. These are easily attributed to getting older rather than a treatable deficiency. Recognition and treatment. The early signs of B12 deficiency affecting your legs include weakness or heaviness in your legs, numbness or tingling in your feet or hands, balance problems or feeling unsteady, difficulty walking or changes in your gait, restless leg syndrome or leg discomfort at night. If you're experiencing any of these symptoms, ask your doctor to test your B12 level. The standard blood test measures total B12, but I also recommend testing methylmalonic acid MMA. Elevated levels indicate functional B12 deficiency even when total B12 appears normal. The best food sources of B12 are animal products: meat, fish, eggs, and dairy. Clams and mussels are particularly rich sources. For those following plant-based diets, B12 fortified foods or supplements are essential. For supplementation, I often recommend sublingual, under the tongue, B12 or B12 injections for seniors, as these bypass potential absorption problems in the digestive system. The methylcobalamin form of B12 is particularly good for nerve health. I'll never forget Helen, a 76-year-old who came to me using a walker because her legs felt so weak and unsteady. Multiple doctors had told her it was arthritis or normal aging. Her B12 level was barely detectable. After 3 months of B12 injections, she walked into my office without her walker, tears of joy in her eyes. She said she felt like she'd gotten her life back. Vitamin number 4, calcium, the bone and muscle foundation. Beyond bone health, most people think of calcium purely in terms of bone health, but calcium is equally important for muscle function. Every single muscle contraction, from the smallest movement of your toes to the power needed to stand up from a chair, depends on calcium. Here's how it works. When your brain sends a signal to your leg muscles to contract, calcium is released within the muscle cells, triggering the contraction. When the movement is complete, calcium is pumped back into storage, allowing the muscle to relax. Without adequate calcium, this process becomes sluggish and inefficient. The calcium paradox. Here's something that confuses many people. You can be consuming plenty of calcium but still be functionally deficient. This happens because calcium absorption is complex and depends on several factors. First, you need adequate vitamin D. Without it, you can only absorb about 10 to 15% of the calcium you consume. Second, Magnesium is essential for calcium metabolism. Third, certain foods and medications can interfere with calcium absorption. Additionally, as we age, our intestines become less efficient at absorbing calcium. A 70-year-old absorbs only about half as much calcium from food as a 30-year-old. The calcium robbery. Here's something alarming. When your blood calcium levels drop even slightly, your body immediately starts stealing calcium from your bones to maintain muscle and nerve function. This is because calcium is so crucial for immediate survival that your body will sacrifice long-term bone health to maintain short-term function. This process happens silently and painlessly. You won't feel your bones getting weaker until you're at significant risk for fractures. By the time osteoporosis is diagnosed, you may have already lost 30% or more of your bone density. This is why adequate calcium intake is crucial not just for preventing fractures, but for maintaining the calcium reserves your muscles need to function properly. Smart calcium strategy. The recommended daily intake for adults over 50 is 1,200 milligrams for women and 1,000 milligrams for men. However, it's important to spread this throughout the day. Your body can only absorb about 500 milligrams at a time. The best food sources include dairy products, milk, yogurt, cheese, leafy greens, kale, collard greens, bok choy fish with soft bones, canned salmon and sardines, fortified foods, plant-based milk, tofu, cereals, almonds and sesame seeds, tahini. If you need supplements, calcium citrate is generally better absorbed than calcium carbonate, especially for seniors who may have reduced stomach acid. Take calcium supplements with meals and avoid taking them with iron supplements or high-fiber foods, as these can interfere with absorption. One crucial point: don't overdo it. Too much calcium, especially from supplements, can increase the risk of kidney stones and may interfere with the absorption of other important minerals like magnesium and zinc. The key is balance. Work with your healthcare provider to determine if you need supplementation and how much. A bone density test can help assess whether your current calcium intake is adequate for maintaining bone health. Vitamin number 5, potassium, the muscle and nerve communicator. The forgotten electrolyte. When people think about electrolytes, they usually think about sodium, but potassium is equally important, especially for leg health. Potassium is crucial for muscle contractions, nerve transmission, and maintaining proper fluid balance in your cells. Every time you take a step, your leg muscles depend on a precise balance of potassium and sodium to contract and relax properly. When this balance is disrupted, you can experience muscle cramps, weakness, and even dangerous heart rhythm problems. The challenge is that most Americans, especially seniors, don't get nearly enough potassium. The recommended daily intake is 4,700 milligrams, but the average American consumes only about 2,600 milligrams per day. Why seniors are at risk? Several factors put seniors at higher risk for potassium deficiency. Many seniors take diuretics, water pills, for blood pressure or heart conditions. These medications cause the kidneys to excrete more potassium along with sodium. Age-related changes in kidney function can affect potassium balance. As we age, our kidneys become less efficient at conserving potassium when needed. Reduced appetite, difficulty shopping for fresh foods, and dental problems can all lead to diets that are low in potassium-rich foods like fruits and vegetables. Chronic conditions common in seniors, such as diabetes and kidney disease, can also affect potassium levels. The muscle connection potassium deficiency doesn't just cause the classic muscle cramps everyone knows about. It can also cause more subtle symptoms that significantly impact your leg function. Muscle weakness that makes it difficult to stand up from chairs or climb stairs. Muscle fatigue that causes your legs to feel heavy or tired, even with minimal activity. Poor muscle recovery after exercise or activity. Restless leg syndrome or uncomfortable sensations in your legs at night. Potassium also plays a role in maintaining bone health by helping to neutralize acids that can leach calcium from bones. Food-first approach. The safest and most effective way to increase your potassium intake is through food. Unlike potassium supplements, which can be dangerous if you have kidney problems, food sources of potassium are generally safe for everyone. The best sources include bananas, often thought of as the top source, but actually moderate, sweet potatoes and regular potatoes with skin avocados, spinach and other leafy greens, white beans and other legumes, salmon and other fish oranges and orange juice, yogurt and milk, tomatoes and tomato sauce. One medium baked potato with skin contains about 900 milligrams of potassium. That's nearly 20% of your daily needs in one food. Here's a practical tip. Aim to include a potassium-rich food at every meal. Have a banana with breakfast, a large salad with lunch, and a baked sweet potato with dinner. This approach will help you reach your daily potassium goals naturally. Important warning: never take potassium supplements without medical supervision, especially if you have kidney disease or take medications that affect potassium levels. Too much potassium can be just as dangerous as too little. Vitamin number 6, vitamin K, the calcium director. The overlooked vitamin K is probably the least well-known of the vitamins I'm discussing today, but it's absolutely crucial for leg health. Think of vitamin K as the traffic director for calcium in your body. It ensures calcium goes where it's needed, your bones, and doesn't accumulate where it shouldn't, your arteries and soft tissues. Without adequate vitamin K, you can have plenty of calcium in your system, but it won't be used effectively. Even worse, that calcium can start depositing in your arteries, contributing to cardiovascular disease and poor circulation to your legs. The two forms of vitamin K. There are two main forms of vitamin K, and they have different functions. Vitamin K1, phylloquinone, is found primarily in leafy green vegetables. It's mainly involved in blood clotting and wound healing. Vitamin K2, menaquinone, is found in fermented foods and animal products. This is the form that's most important for bone health and calcium metabolism. Most people get adequate K1 from their diet, but K2 deficiency is common, especially in seniors who may not eat many fermented foods or high-quality animal products. How vitamin K protects your legs. Vitamin K activates proteins that control calcium metabolism. The most important of these is osteocalcin, which helps bind calcium to bone matrix, making bones stronger and more resistant to fractures. Vitamin K also activates matrix GLA protein, which prevents calcium from depositing in arteries and other soft tissues. This is crucial for maintaining good circulation to your leg muscles. Research shows that people with higher vitamin K intake have stronger bones, less arterial calcification, and better overall cardiovascular health, all of which contribute to better leg function and mobility. Deficiency signs and risks. Vitamin K deficiency is subtle and often goes unnoticed until serious problems develop. Unlike other vitamin deficiencies that cause immediate symptoms, vitamin K deficiency builds slowly over time. Signs that you might be deficient include easy bruising or bleeding, weak bones or frequent fractures, poor wound healing, stiff or painful joints, circulation problems in your legs. Seniors are at higher risk for vitamin K deficiency due to poor absorption, limited dietary variety, and certain medications. Antibiotics can disrupt the gut bacteria that produce vitamin K2, and blood thinners like warfarin work by blocking vitamin K activity. Optimizing your vitamin K status. The best sources of vitamin K1 are leafy green vegetables, kale, spinach, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and collard greens. Just 1 cup of cooked kale provides over 1,000 micrograms of vitamin K1, more than 10 times the daily requirement. For vitamin K2, look for fermented foods like natto, fermented soybeans, aged cheeses, and kefir. Grass-fed meat and pastured egg yolks also contain K2. Important note, if you're taking blood-thinning medications like warfarin, don't dramatically change your vitamin K intake without consulting your doctor. The key is consistency. Maintain steady intake so your medication can be properly adjusted. Vitamin number 7, vitamin B6, the muscle recovery specialist. The underappreciated vitamin B6 might not get as much attention as some other vitamins, but it's absolutely essential for leg health, especially as we age. B6 is involved in over 100 enzymatic reactions in your body, many of which are crucial for muscle function, nerve health, and recovery. What makes B6 particularly important for seniors is its role in protein metabolism. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at using protein to build and maintain muscle mass. Adequate B6 helps optimize this process, ensuring that the protein you eat is actually used to keep your leg muscles strong. B6 is also crucial for neurotransmitter production, the chemical messengers that allow your brain to communicate with your leg muscles. Without adequate B6, these communications can become sluggish or distorted. The inflammation connection. One of the most important functions of vitamin B6 is its role in controlling inflammation. Chronic inflammation is a major contributor to muscle weakness, joint pain, and poor recovery in seniors. B6 helps regulate the inflammatory response, preventing the excessive inflammation that can damage muscle tissue and slow recovery. This is particularly important for your legs, which bear the brunt of daily activities and are prone to inflammatory conditions like arthritis. Research shows that seniors with higher B6 levels have less inflammation, better muscle function, and faster recovery from physical activity. Signs of B6 deficiency. B6 deficiency is more common in seniors than many people realize. Signs that you might be deficient include muscle weakness, especially in your legs, poor coordination or balance problems, tingling or numbness in your feet or hands, slow recovery from exercise or physical activity, frequent muscle cramps or spasms, mood changes or depression, weakened immune function. Because these symptoms can be subtle and develop gradually, B6 deficiency is often overlooked or attributed to normal aging. B6 and red blood cell production. Another crucial function of B6 is its role in red blood cell production. Your leg muscles need a constant supply of oxygen-rich blood to function properly. Without adequate B6, you may develop a type of anemia that leaves your muscles oxygen-starved. This can manifest as unusual fatigue during normal activities, legs that feel heavy or weak, poor endurance when walking or climbing stairs, shortness of breath with minimal exertion. The good news is that B6-related anemia responds quickly to proper supplementation. Integration and practical implementation. How these vitamins work together. Now that we've covered all 7 essential nutrients, it's important to understand that they don't work in isolation. They form an interconnected network that supports your leg health. Vitamin D enhances calcium absorption, but magnesium is needed for calcium metabolism. B12 and B6 work together to maintain nerve health and muscle function. Potassium and magnesium collaborate to prevent muscle cramps. Vitamin K ensures that calcium goes to your bones rather than your arteries. This is why a comprehensive approach is so much more effective than trying to address individual deficiencies in isolation. Creating your personal action plan. Here's how to put this information into action. First, get tested. Ask your doctor to check your vitamin D, B12, and if possible, magnesium levels. These tests will give you a baseline and help you understand where you need to focus your efforts. Second, start with food. Aim to include sources of each nutrient in your daily diet. This might mean adding a serving of leafy greens, including fatty fish twice a week, or enjoying a banana as a daily snack. Third, consider targeted supplementation for nutrients that are difficult to get from food alone, particularly vitamin D, magnesium, and B12 for many seniors. Fourth, be patient but persistent. Nutritional changes take time to show results. You might notice improvements in energy and sleep quality within a few weeks, but significant changes in muscle strength and bone health can take several months. Finally, work with your healthcare team. This is especially important if you take medications or have chronic health conditions that might affect nutrient absorption or metabolism. Your legs have carried you through life, to work, to family gatherings, on adventures, and through challenges. They deserve the best care you can give them. The 7 nutrients we've discussed today, vitamin D, magnesium, B12, calcium, potassium, vitamin K, and B6, are the building blocks of strong, healthy legs that can continue to support you for years to come. Remember, aging doesn't have to mean accepting weakness, pain, or loss of mobility. With the right nutrition, you can maintain and even improve your leg strength and stability. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more evidence-based health information for seniors. Drop a comment below and let me know which of these nutrients you're most interested in focusing on, or share your own experiences with leg health challenges. Most importantly, don't wait. Your legs are counting on you to give them what they need. Start today, start small, but start. Your future self will thank you for taking action now. Until next time, this is Dr. David reminding you that strong legs aren't just about mobility. They're about maintaining your independence, your confidence, and your quality of life. Take care of your legs and they'll take care of you.